welcome back to the Price Action Analyst YouTube channel, at Price Analyst on Twitter as well. Just doing a follow-up on a video I made yesterday about getting out of Vechain, VET. So this is more of an instructional video than anything else. I've noticed some of the comments taking note that Vechain is moving up again. The easiest way to learn what I want to try and convey in this video is buy Vechain here. And from my experience, there's no way of trading markets where you have 100%, like you just know 100% what's going to happen, right? It's especially with price action, I look at stuff and I know what tends to happen there. So anytime I see these wicks, I expect them to hold. Now, they can hold in a variety of ways. When you get the first wick, you'll generally get at least one more, which we did, and then sometimes it'll peel off. And sometimes it'll make, a series of wicks. You've got, significant strength pushing up into this area, so it doesn't surprise me that it's pushing up. But whether this, comes up here and peels back and leaves a wick, or tomorrow is a selling bar, or even price pushes up here and then leaves another wick, the high probability event to me is that price is eventually going to peel back here, like it always does. I mean, ever since I've been doing these videos, anytime you see a wick, it's a reliable indicator that there's going to be selling pressure here. So this is kind of, this is worst case scenario here, where you get a push above, and again, you still get that selling pressure, like it never just pushed out of here. But this was very shallow. This is kind of worst case scenario for the wicks. But the difference is, look how early this is in the break. Like, it just pushed out of here. So, this is very early on in the piece. Look at this wick here. You got the wick, then, up. Oh, looks like Vechain's moving higher. What happens? It peels over. Now, I don't expect it to peel over and come back here. I'm expecting a retracement. And again, these wicks are a perfect example. Where are they taking place? They've washed this high and it's made the wick. So, because wicks are just a wick is it's a quick up and down, which means there's trapped traders in there. So anytime price gets back to that level, you're gonna see selling pressure or buying pressure if it's on the downside, right? But even here, look at this wick here. All these people thought, oh, Vechain's rocketing away and they're buying and they're stuck. And what happens when price comes back up in here? Sells. This time it pushed above, left a wick, and you get selling pressure, right? So high probability is we can expect the same thing there, right? Because this is what tends to happen. So I could be wrong. Price could just rip out of here, and fine. If it does that, I'm not going to buy price here, because that's even higher probability of a sucker's rally. So what I'll do is, I've stood aside, I'm out. I'll watch price. If it pushes away, if it does the low probability thing and pushes away, fine. I'll watch it push away, and I will look for areas to get in. So if it pushes away and it comes and tests this area and leaves a wick and a buying bar, then I'll enter here. But I'm not going to buy here, because again, I've spent many years getting burnt buying breakouts, because that's where people get trapped. Every time price breaks out, it tends to be a false breakout, especially when there's a wick. So, if anyone's done what I did and got out of here, if this starts to push away, don't panic. It's part of trading, right? Like, the high probability event hasn't taken place in that, but price will always come back. Like, it's very, very rare for price to ever push away and not come back and test this area. As bullish as I am on Vechain, in liquid markets, untested price action is very rare. So, you know, I'll give you another example. So, you know, pretend that we're looking at this, there's no price action in front. Oh, Vechain's away. I gotta get on board Vechain. I'm buying here. Oh, it's away. Look, oh, it's pushing higher. I'm buying. You know, this is air down here. This is where, you know, as soon as that buying starts, here's the air. And look, price is pushing higher. Oh, it's leaving without us. Here's your line at 136. Oh, look. No, it didn't quite get there. There's 136. So very rarely will price be uncontested. And that's why, you know, early on in the piece I went to short-term trading. Like, you know, this isn't a good example of a breakout you could pick, but let's say I picked that breakout and I'm, you know, I see a wick and I'm out with the wick and I take that, because long term it's very hard to find a point that you buy at that's never tested again. So, you know, getting back to our example, if this peels away, I'm not particularly worried, because as low as the chances are that it pushes out of here, it's even lower that price just shoots up and never comes back here in the short term. So that's how I trade. And, you know, if you don't believe me, buy it here. And you might be right. And if you're right, you'll probably think, haha, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But over time, if I do that, exactly what I've done here in this scenario, I'm very, very confident that I'm going to come out on top of people that are buying inside these wicks. Like, it's a low probability event to expect price to push out of here. And again, it's hard because if you drill down to the hourly bars, you know, this looks like price wants to go. But, you know, look, it's stalled here in between these two peaks. So again, it could just push out of here, and it looks like it wants to, but it's just hard for me to take that setup. So I'm gonna wait. And again, you know, I would feel much happier about jumping on board of Vechain again if I see if my buying signal is down here on a test of this air. That's ideally where I want to hit. So hopefully price will come back down here. Again, this is unlikely that this is never contested price action ever again. It's in a liquid market, it's very unlikely. So I just thought I'd make a video on that because it was bugging me. I'll put this in instructional videos, but that's why I don't chase price at highs, and I don't whenever I see a wick, I'm contrarian. I'm not chasing anything here, and it's just, I mean, it takes a long time to, I think most people that are new to trading, like, the human condition is such that when you look at this, you're like, oh, it's gonna go higher. Especially this green bar paints in, everyone's jumping on board because they think it's gonna go higher. Well, guess what? There's a lot of selling pressure here from all these people that got long here. They're all hitting the sell button and here. So, you know, that's who you're competing with. Anyways, and like I always say, you know, trading is not it's not a time machine, right? You're not going to be right 100% of the time, and you need to be prepared for that, and you need to know, all right, what am I going to do if I'm wrong? Well, I have a plan if I'm wrong, but I'm trading what I see as the high probability event here, and that's for price to retrace. So we'll wait and see. I probably won't do another video on this until, you know, I'm sure of a direction. So if it pushes up substantially, I'll probably do a video, and if it's, you know, if there's wishy-washy price action here, I'll wait until it pushes down. But now for me, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing. I just want to check the other. So Ethereum still looks good. I mean, that bar is good, and then this wick here is good. I still, everything looks good there. And this is Nano. This is air here, and so you've got selling pressure, but it still looks good to me. And when you drill down to the hourly, you know, this consolidation pattern is taking place within the context of these wicks here. So I am expecting, well, we had the upside break, so I'm expecting a retest here. You've got the high, you've got air, and you've got the trend line. I'm expecting a push off of that. So I'm still, you know, this has to go a long way before I'm like, all right, I'm out. That air up is going to provide, you know, again, high probability event. It does exactly what it does here, and anywhere around here we should start to see some buying pressure. So I'm not worried about any of those positions. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for watching and liking and subscribing and all that stuff. If you haven't already followed me on Twitter, please do. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.